What's up, you guys? It's Graham here. So we gotta take a moment and talk about what's going on in the stock market, because as we're finishing up the week, stocks have risen the most that we've seen since April, which on the surface seems a little bit surprising given the mixed results of the election, delays, and threats of lawsuits. But once you start digging deeper, it becomes a little bit more apparent why the stock market is doing as well as it is. And that also gives us a really strong signal of where the market could be headed over the next few months. Now keep in mind, this channel is not your Facebook feed with every other post turning into a political rant or argument about hurt feelings. That's why I stopped going on Facebook. Instead, we'll just focus on the facts with a totally neutral standpoint from the perspective of what this means for the future of the markets, saving money, investing, personal finance, building wealth, and me trying to get you guys to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Because really, at the end of the day, opinions aside, no matter what your political affiliation is, we're all in this together, united by our enjoyment of talking about personal finance. And now we gotta talk about what's going on in the stock market and if it's possible for it to soon hit its next all-time high. So with that said, make sure to place your vote for the like button by destroying it for the YouTube algorithm. All votes are going to be counted immediately as soon as you press it, so if we could get this video to 69,420 likes, that would be amazing. And with that said, let's begin the video here. Oh, and also quick thank you to Morning Brew for sponsoring this video, but more on that later. Alright, so here's a quick backstory on what's going on. Basically, the stock market is behaving like it always has, by doing the exact opposite of what you think it will. That's nothing new. But in hindsight, here's what's happened. 2 weeks ago, the S&P 500 was nearing its previous all-time high, but it peaked at just over 3,500 points, and then it was driven down by a mixture of new illness cases, a stalemate on stimulus, and election uncertainty. See, when it comes to the stock market, one thing it really doesn't like is not knowing what's going to happen. And when you have all of these potential scenarios that could play out, it tends to price in the worst case possible scenario as fear takes over. This is why the stock market behaves a bit like a pendulum. If market value is right in the middle, the market will tend to swing too far in the fear direction as people brace for the worst and sell off. And then it swings back into the everything's fine category as people realize that the market is going up, they don't want to miss out on it, so they buy in and push the market even higher. This is nothing new. It's been going on since the beginning of time. It's not going to change, and we just have to accept it for what it is. Stocks. Anyway, with all the uncertainty and people fearing the worst, with new lockdowns going into effect around the world with no stimulus in sight, the market sold off while we saw some of the worst days in months. Of course, that caused people to panic, and as we entered election week, investors were uncertain about how potentially new regulations would impact their portfolio. But then this week, things totally changed around. What many thought would be a very turbulent ride has turned into a massive upswing in the stock market. Like on Monday, we saw a gain of 1.2%, election day was another 1.78%, the day after was another 2.2%, and now another 2.2%. But even after today, we're still on track to have one of the best weeks in months, and now here's what's happening. Now, from an investment standpoint, many businesses are worried about changes to their policies that could affect the stock market. And in this case, any change to the status quo would result in uncertainty, and when that happens, lower prices ensue. So when things stay exactly the same, we know what to expect and we could plan accordingly. But if there's any sort of change in the presidency, the House, or the Senate, then that's an unknown and the stock market will react accordingly. However, for any new laws, regulations, or taxes to go into effect, it has to pass through its checks and balances. That's why the president can't just go and say, I want everybody to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, otherwise I'm going to raise taxes 5%. See, the thing is, even though the presidency does have a significant level of authority, for any new laws or changes to go into effect, it has to go through its due process of review. First, it gets brought up and negotiated in the House of Representatives, and if it passes, it then goes to the Senate for further review and even further negotiations. And then, after all of that is done, if the Senate passes it, it goes to the president, who could either sign off on it, and all of a sudden now it's enacted, or the president can veto it, in which case it goes back to the Senate, and they have to pass it by 2/3 if they want to overrule the president. Now, the biggest change to what we currently have now would be what's called a blue wave, which is where the Democrats take the majority of the House, the Senate, and the presidency. And that means the likelihood of enacting certain bills becomes extremely likely, including the proposed tax increase. Some argue that a blue wave would give room for a much larger stimulus package, which would then boost up our economy. Others say this would increase tax taxes and impose stricter regulation on business at a time where already our economy is really fragile. Regardless of this, though, the stock market is impacted by the current election status because this is so far what's happening. But really quick, I want to give a huge thank you to our sponsor today, Morning Brew. They're a totally free daily newsletter that gets sent to you every Monday through Saturday, and they bring you up to speed with the most interesting business and finance-related news all in under 5 minutes. And when it comes to the information I get, I kid you not, Morning Brew is the first thing I read as soon as I wake up every single morning. I literally open my eyes at 6 o'clock in the morning when my alarm goes off, and the first thing I do to wake up in the morning is read Morning Brew. I know it sounds like I'm just making this up. I kid you, it's the truth. It's just really interesting content. It gets sent to your email every single morning. It's totally free, and I like it myself enough to recommend it to you. Like just the other day, they were talking about what happened to the Ant IPO and why that didn't happen. They were also going into detail of how much players were spending on Pokemon Go, the app. And they also have little fun segments in there like, how much do you think the White House is worth? Spoiler, it's $414,696,349. So if you're interested in business, finance, or tech, just use the link down below in the description to sign up. It's totally free, and it's going to take you less than 15 seconds. So with that said, thank you so much. I really hope you enjoy it, and now we'll get back to the video. Now, as it stands right now at the time I'm making this video, because things seem to be changing by the hour at this point, but as of right now, the House of Representatives is almost evenly split between Democrat and Republican, with the Democrats holding a very slight edge. Now, from an investment standpoint, this could actually be a good thing because any measures would need bipartisan support to pass through, which means that both sides would need to come to an agreement to get to the next step, and as it is right now, it's pretty balanced. Now after that, we have the Senate, and this one was a little less clear because some of it is a bit up in the air right now, but previously it was a bit favoring the Republican side. Now this one is not entirely confirmed because the Senate has to reach 51 to hit the majority, and as of right now, Georgia is still a bit up in the air. But the stock market looks to be pricing in that most likely the Republicans will be retaining control of the Senate, which means that most likely we'll have the same status quo in terms of tax policies and regulation. Because of that, with a divided Congress like this, it's unlikely that we'll see higher taxes, strict business regulation, and higher capital gains tax, which was weighing on investors who couldn't plan for that uncertainty. Remember, for things like this to go through, it first has to pass through the House and the Senate. But if either the House or the Senate can't come to an agreement, it just goes nowhere. Now keep in mind, that does not mean it's impossible for things like this to happen, but it's unlikely if Congress is not fully unified towards one side or the other. And lastly, here's where things get good. Let's take a look at how the stock market has historically performed with a split Congress. And we could see if historically one side is more profitable than the other. Because once I started looking into this, the answer might surprise you. Now obviously, past results are not always going to be indicative of what actually happens. But historically, the highest returns have come from a Democratic president with the House and Senate split between parties. That had an average annual return of 13.6%. Now a close runner-up to that was a Democratic president and a Republican Congress at 13%, and that nearly tied with a Republican president and Congress at 12.9%. Ultimately, what it seems to favor is that a divided Congress is good for the stock market. And if you're concerned about stock market returns, it's more opportunistic to pay attention to what's happening in the House and Senate than it is the presidency. Like the highest average returns of the stock market has occurred with a divided Congress at 17.2%, which is much higher than just a Democratic or Republican Congress alone. So really, at the end of the day, the presidency has much less control over the markets than we think. And really, we should place a bigger focus on the House and the Senate and making sure both sides are evenly represented, not necessarily focusing on one side versus the other. But given all this information, so far this week, this is why we've seen the stock market go up so much in price. A clear outcome is beginning to take shape that would still favor business, lower taxation, and less regulation on tech. And that's causing people to feel much more comfortable throwing their money back in the stock market. Or really, in other words, more people are buying right now than they are selling, and that means the market's green. Which is good. Green is good. I've just always maintained that the best thing you could do is focus on the core principles that I talk about non-stop here in the channel time and time again, and that would be keep buying, keep investing long term, and don't panic. Also, it's important you don't sit on the sidelines waiting this one out either. I've seen it a million times. If you wait to buy into the market because you feel it's too high, then most likely you're also going to wait out the best buying opportunities because you're waiting for it to drop even lower. Just get in the habit of buying consistently and do not try to time the market one way or another. Now, as far as what you could focus on, when it comes to myself, I've always made sure to live below my means, save as much money as I can, invest consistently long term, and work diligently throughout the day so that way I'm not wasting time. I believe that those habits have a much greater impact on our day-to-day lives that all of us can directly control immediately. So I know this video might not be anything you didn't know already. I get it. But sometimes it's important to revisit the basics, understand the psychology of investing, understand why the stock market is going up, and give you peace of mind to know that long-term everything is going to be okay. We could very well continue to see the market go higher and higher, or maybe it begins to drop down once the uncertainty of the Senate begins weighing in. But either way, you better be buying. Now, besides that though, we have some other somewhat breaking news over the last 24 hours because yesterday, the Fed left interest rates unchanged near 0%. And they also confirmed that they plan to keep them there for the foreseeable future. Jerome Powell has been an advocate of more stimulus to help our economy, and it looks as though at some point, another stimulus deal will be reached, even if it happens in smaller bills. If that happens, that should hopefully help stabilize our economy until it's ready to safely reopen. And then on top of that, it's crazy, we just hit another record. Mortgage rates have hit another all-time low for the 12th time this year. CNN now reports that the average 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is at 2.78%, which is the lowest level ever recorded in 50 years since the survey started. Apparently, rates might even continue to drop even lower, which is fueling the housing market to continue to rise even higher and higher. But yeah, I'll save that one for another video. So there you go, there's the update so far. I really hope you enjoyed it, and regardless of how this plays out, just stick with the normal plan as usual. You're gonna come out of this okay, as long as you just smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. So with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to destroy the like button, subscribe button, and notification bell. Also, feel free to add me on Instagram. I post pretty much daily, so if you want to be a part of it there, feel free to add me there, as in the second channel, The Graham Stephan Show. I post there every single day. I'm not posting here, so if you want to see a brand new video from me every single day, make sure to add yourself to that. And lastly, if you guys want 3 free stocks, use the link down below in the description, and Webull is going to be giving you 3 free stocks when you deposit $100 on the platform, with 2 of those stocks worth at minimum $8 and all the way up to $1,600. So if you want those 3 free stocks, use the link down below. Let me know which 3 you get. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.